Well, my next guest lost 43 kilograms. It only took him 23 weeks. He's kept it off for 3 years. How did he do it? To reveal the 7 secrets of the weight loss industry. Those secrets they don't want you to know. We're joined by author Graham Park. Good morning, Graham.
Morning, Kerri-Anne.
43 Ks in 23 weeks sounds such a quick amount of time to what we're traditionally told.
That's true, but by removing a lot of reactive and addictive foods out of the diet, my metabolism was able to recover itself, and it just started to shed it very quickly.
Wow.
And because I was working with a doctor, we were very happy with that, and we see that sort of weight loss over and over. That's not abnormal.
Okay, now, you know, as I mentioned, these are the secrets the industry doesn't want you. So let's get into those secrets, because we're all ears. Number one, an industry built on repeat business. Explain that concept.
If you look at it from a business person's standpoint, it's a wonderful industry. It's a $60 billion worldwide industry where people come in, lose 10 kilos, go away, put 12 back on, and come back next year and do it over and over again. It's a wonderful business formula, so you have to ask yourself, how much interest is there in really coming up with a long-term solution for a business that's so profitable of having you repeat?
Well, the statistics I'm looking at here, 95% people regain their weight within 12 months. Is that true?
All the statistics I've seen, that's actually the best one. I've seen Dr. Ross Walker the other day sent me another study from the States that says 97% put all the weight back on within 12 months.
And Ross Walker's the esteemed cardiologist, yes, who's joined us here. Okay, secret number 2, synthetic food is not the answer.
Synthetic food, I'm referring in there specifically to all the diet shakes and bars and soups and those types of things that people look at and say, well, that's an easy way to lose some weight. And we find they do 2 things. Yes, it's an easy way to lose 3, 4, 5 kilos. And it's an even easier way to put back on twice as much weight, generally stuff your metabolism around.
Why does what you call synthetic food muck up your metabolism?
Because what's in it, if you look at the ingredient levels, the second ingredient or the third ingredient is usually sugar, which you've got to ask yourself, how good is extra sugar when you're trying to lose weight?
Even in these synthetic foods, the diet products?
Yeah, have a look what's in it. It's fascinating because you've got to get them to taste good. And so they put in some sort of sweetness. Now, some of them use the synthetic ones and some use the sugars, and some use the fructose and all this. But if you look at it, it's like a chemical concoction. How is that food when you compare it to real food, such as something that's been running around in the paddock, swimming in the ocean, growing in the garden? That's real food.
So you fill yourself up with chemicals which can alter the balance of your body.
Exactly.
Okay, number 3, surgery is dangerous. Well, you know, you don't have to be Robinson Crusoe to figure that one out. No. Because there's lap band surgery, there's, you know, all sorts of procedures these days, and any surgery is dangerous.
Exactly. And that's my point in there, that it's being marketed to many people as being, oh, you're in and out in a day, so it's not dangerous. You are in and out in a day, especially with the banding, but any time they cut someone open, there's a risk.
But on the other hand, there are, unfortunately, morbidly obese people. If they do not opt for that, they're going to die from obesity anyway. So anaesthetic, which kills off a lot of people, surgery for which you can get infections, you've got to weigh that up.
You've got to weigh that up, and for a small percentage of people who are morbidly obese, it's the best alternative, but that probably only is about 5 to 10% of all the people having those operations.
Okay, no miracle cures. Are you just going to tell us we've got to do it the hard way?
Well, it's not as hard as people think. But there's no such thing as a miracle cure that you're going to take a pill and it's going to fix everything forever.
And you also go on to say food is not the enemy, because everybody says, oh, that food, can I eat that? Is that fattening?
Food's the closest thing to a miracle cure. That's if you want to know, that's the closest thing you will see to a miracle cure.
Well, what are the fattening foods then?
Well, it's foods that your body reacts badly to, obviously too much quantity, but it's also foods that your body reacts badly to, especially highly processed foods. If you get away from highly processed foods and get back to real foods, meats, fishes, vegetables, fruits, low processed level foods, you will find your body will start healing itself. The body was never designed to take in chemical cocktails masquerading as food.
Okay, let's, you talk about exercise, and we all know, just give us an hour's worth of exercise. Can you put that in proportion as to what we'd have to burn off if we're actually walking for an hour or swimming for an hour?
Well, if you one of your guests on Monday had a great example.
I know.
Which was, if you eat a meat pie, you had to walk, what, 37 kilometres or something.
For a meat pie and chips, you've got that you have at the footy, you had to walk 37 k's.
I think that's a pretty great example.
Okay, what we really want to know, Graham, is how do we do it?
Well, if you look at any weight loss program, first you've got to be seriously wanting to do something, and then you look for one that has what I call the 4 keys to successful weight loss. It has a healthy eating plan, one that's well structured and contains healthy real foods, not synthetics, one that looks at quality nutritional supplements, one that looks at the emotional or mindset issues, especially like what Ian Wallace was talking about on Monday on your show. That was spot on information, and that quiz is excellent that he
Do you
did.
mean we don't eat because we're hungry?
No, we eat for a lot of other reasons than we're hungry.
Okay. So you're saying we actually need help emotionally to deal with the triggers, the food triggers?
We may not need to go to a psychologist, but we need to recognise that that's part of the program, and I think we shouldn't look at weight loss programs, whoever's got them out there, that don't address the 4 issues of eating, supplementation, emotional and exercise,
so
those 4 areas.
Any industry product that doesn't involve those 4 things is a scam?
No, I wouldn't say a scam, but it's not likely to be extremely effective.
What was how long were you heavier for? You said you lost 43 kilos. How long were you?
Over 20 years.
And what finally was the key for you to do it in 23 weeks?
I've got 4 daughters, and the youngest is 11, and I wanted to be around when they grew up.
What failed you every single time? Did you as I mentioned, how many of these weight loss things and industry things did you try?
In excess of tens of thousands of dollars over a 25 year period trying different programs with some success. I would always lose 10, 12, maybe even 15 kilos, and I would always put it back on until I got to the point where I felt such a failure. And I had a very successful business, and yet I felt like a failure because I couldn't control it, and so I just felt awful. And I was doing a seminar in Indonesia about health because I worked in the nutritional supplementation industry for 10 years, and after the talk a lady came up to me and literally poked me in the chest and said, "You're a disgrace, you're talking about health and you're fat, fat, fat," and she walked away. I was so depressed I went to the bar. But that was the final...
I remember that moment.
Yeah.
Did I meet that same woman?
The final moment for me.
Wow. And that was
it, and I decided I needed to do something at that point, and that was when I went forward.
Well, Graham, you're wonderful. Thank you very much. I just don't know where to go. Have you ever met that woman again?
Yes, she actually now runs our Singapore office for our weight loss business. So,
oh, you've got one as well?
Yes.
Oh, okay then. Well, you know, at least the concept is good, and I like the fact that our behaviouralist and psychologist Ian was right, and we understand the process. But thank you very much. It's always interesting to hear different spins.
Thank you very much for having us on the show.